Just noticing right now that my kicks and my 808s are in mono, which is not exactly normal. But there's also ways around that. Sometimes it's okay for it to be in mono. I prefer for my 808s to be in stereo, however. Let's go ahead and get started though. Kick here. There is a lot of drums in this song. Let's hear it with the 808 one time. Really, like, for the most part, I like the pocket that these two are hitting in. I'm not going to change much. And, realize people, like, the thing about mixing is you got to know when to do shit and when not to do shit. Really, when not to do shit is more important. I know I'm like getting super comfortable over here. All right, let me get serious. Knowing when not to do something is just as important, if not more important, than knowing when to do something. So for the moment right now, I think I'm gonna not do a lot, but I do want to put a little bit of low end into this 808. I'm gonna do that with R bass. I think I want to have it vibrate a little bit lower. Try out 54. Let me go ahead and loop this real quick because we're going to be listening to this combo for a minute here. Just going back and forth, but I'm liking the low end that it adds, definitely. I'm definitely liking the low end that it adds for sure. Sorry, I had to pause for a second and turn my mic down a little bit. It was kind of interfering with the sound of the mix, but anyways, back to the 808 here. Okay, I'm digging the low end. It's giving a little punch. I might maybe throw a little punch on the kick too. It's like for a while I was mixing 808s to be like super distorted and like not a lot, like all mid range, but that's because at the time nobody was doing it. I feel like now. You gotta go against the grain sometimes. Sometimes you gotta go with the grain. You gotta know when to go with the grain and when to go against it. Right now, I want to go against it a little bit. I want to make this hit kind of low, frequency-wise. So I still want to have the punch, of course. I still want to have it knocking, but I want to make it to where you can hear it on a phone, but it's slapping when you play it in the car. Alright, I'm gonna check. I want to see real quick what it sounds like with the NLS on there. And for like the people that really know what's going on, you already know like the NLS is kind of it's kind of my thing, you know. But sometimes it doesn't work. We can't always rely on the NLS. But I'm gonna test it out. I want to see what it sounds like on mono on this 808 real quick. I am mad at it, but it's not really clean like I want it. So I think for the moment I'm gonna keep the NLS off. I might throw it on the bus though. Alright, so now basically the 808 is gonna, the kick and the 808 are gonna set the tone for everything. So, you know, nothing as far as the drums go, is gonna be louder than the kick and the 808. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set my drum bus limiter to the kick and the 808. I actually like it at 0 for some reason. I don't know why. It sounds like it's cutting through more. For the moment, I'm going to leave it at 0. I don't know. Sometimes you just got to go with your instinct. For the moment, it's telling me to leave it at 0, so that's what I'm going to do. Switch those around real quick. Clap, most of the time you don't really have to do much unless you're looking for like a specific sound. So for now I'm just going to turn it down a little bit, give it a little. I usually end up turning the claps up at the end, but for the moment I want to get the clap kind of out of the way. Like I want to make sure that that pocket is reserved for vocals. And I think maybe I'll do like a little bit of EQ. Bring out like the low mids a little bit. And maybe a little bit of the top end. But other than that, I don't think I'm gonna fuck with the clap for now. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and take that top end off and just leave this little tiny boost in the mid range. Oh, by the way, I'm also like a little bit, I should mention this too, that I'm kind of like a little bit already planning for what I know the instruments are gonna be, and they're kind of all like in the same pocket. So I need to keep that in mind while I'm mixing, that these sounds are kind of all in the same pocket. What I'm thinking right now is that I want like these claps and snares to be able to poke through in that same frequency range, like the low mid range, and that's why I'm adding this in there. It might not work, I might end up having to go back and redo it, but for the moment, I want, and a lot of times people with the snares and the claps, they tend to only boost the highs. Like they want to cut through in the high end. I kind of go the opposite way. Like I really actually kind of want my snares in particular, if they're like a hard hitting snare like this one. Like a fast snare, those in particular, I like to kind of hit you in the stomach a little bit. And in order to do that, you need to add a little bit of mid-range to it. So let me see. I'm definitely going to turn it down a little bit too. A lot of it. Yeah. So that'll give it like a little bit of oomph and allow it to be low. Like sonically speaking, like this is not a high volume. But because of that mid-range, it sounds louder than it actually is. And it's going to leave room for the hi-hats and the open hats and blah, blah, blah. I would prefer to have those taking up the high frequencies as far as the drums are concerned. So now here he gave me two versions of the hi-hats. One with a reverb, with a heavy reverb, and one without. So I'm going to mess around with the panning of this. Maybe throw the reverb to the right and the dry hi-hat to the left. Never really tried that. Let me see what's going on here. So I like that. I mean, normally, a lot of times I will do like a little bit of a delay on the hi-hats and pan the delay to the right. So it's kind of the same thing. And yeah, I'm fucking with it. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of leave it more or less like that for now. Let me get this 808 and kick back in here, make sure that's all vibing. Like me personally, I'm not afraid to pan my hi-hats all the way to the left as long as I have something in the right ear that reminds you that it's there. So I might do that with this, I don't know. I'm kind of liking that actually, like, yeah, I'm kind of digging that. I'm kind of digging that, Jack. So this also seems to have a little bit of the open hat in there. That's probably where I would put the open hat anyway, so that's cool. Again, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of low end in these. Yeah, that's kind of giving it a little bit of presence right there that it needs. Just got to turn that down basically. And let's see, do I want that to be wide? I think I do, considering the fact that the instruments are kind of all in that same frequency range, like I said. So this will kind of help that fill out a little bit more. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little stereo tools on this. Make it nice and wide. I don't know if you can hear the difference. No, you can hear the difference. That just opens it all the way up, you know. It takes a little bit of the dynamics out of it, but I think it opens it up, makes it feel bigger. Let's see what we got with this reverse crash here. Might as well do the same thing with that. Maybe maybe like a left to right thing, maybe. Maybe like a pan man thing going on. Yeah, I'm gonna go left to right with it and make it fast. Like really fast. So that makes it sound like it's even more to the outside. I assume that you guys can all see me comparing back and forth the bypass, and this is without it, and with it. I think it gives it a nice little, yeah, little rhythm too, as well. Now, I don't know what this is. Let me see. I don't know what that is, but it's neither taking away from or adding to it, so I'll just leave that. I think I will also have this going left to right, but definitely much slower. Something like that, a little bit more smooth. Yeah, that's gonna keep it lively, keep you guessing. You know, might be in your left ear 1 second, might be in your right ear the next. I might fuck around and even do that with these little perks too. Yeah, let me go ahead. I'm gonna do that with this, but not quite as wide. And I should explain right now that, you know, this is pretty wide for drums. You got to be careful when you're going this wide. If you do it properly, it can really open up your mix. But you can also fuck shit up. So, you know, if it's not sounding right, don't force it. Put your drums back in the middle if you need to. But it can definitely take the mix to another level, for sure. So this one I'm going to do smooth, not very wide. I just want them to move a little bit Put the rate up a little bit. Yeah, just keep it moving a little bit. You know, it's random. You know, so that's cool. It gives it a little bit more of a music feel. You know. I think I would have to save that. I might have to go ahead and put that into the instruments. Change the bus, make that an instrument. Okay, what do we got here? So I don't know, I guess it's just like a little double. Maybe we could do something weird with it. Put like a shit ton of reverb on it. Shit, that might sound like trash, I don't really know. Won't be able to tell until we get a little bit further in the song. So just leave that like that for now. Maybe a tad of mid-range. I don't know. It's kind of a little. It's not a great sample, so I mean, I don't know. Kind of just gotta leave that one how it is, honestly. Just stick it in the background a little bit. Alright, yeah, let's turn that one down a little bit for the moment. So now we got the basics of the drums together. Let me go ahead and take that reverb off for the moment. Maybe I could just mute this shit. I think maybe I need to turn the 808 up just a tad. The kick is hitting perfect. Ooh, I'm running out of memory. Alright, so now I'm just gonna like do a little bit on the drum aux and level them out a little bit, you know, make sure they're sounding full and everything like that. This is where I might go ahead and try out, because now the drums are going into a stereo aux. Let's see what it sounds like with the SSL now. Okay, I think I like that Neve on there. I wonder what it would sound like with a mic underneath it. In general, with the NLS bus, if I'm looking to add something in the low end, like the deep, deep low end harmonics, I use mic. A spike, for me, kind of adds a little bit of distortion, and Nevo kind of, I wouldn't say that it amplifies any specific frequencies, maybe just pushes it a little bit more. I don't know, you got to experiment with the NLS bus and kind of figure out what it's sounding like for you. Also, in different combinations, they sound different. So, you know, if you put 6 spikes on top of each other and drive it like even just 0.1 each time, is going to change the sound. Or if you're doing like 2 spikes, 2 mics, and 2 Nevos, it's gradually going to change the sound every time, and more than likely your drums will get wider and wider, and have the potential to add a lot of character to your drums. But again, this is one of those things that you can really fuck up a mix if you go too far with it. It's crazy to say, but sometimes the bass with the Neve is too much. The average speakers can't handle it, so you do got to be a little bit careful with the Neve. You need to be a little bit careful with the NLS bus. Doing too much on it, you can, an average speaker can't handle what the NLS can force the speaker to do. Now, if you're in like a big expensive studio, it's great, but you know, if somebody's just driving like a regular Honda Accord with factory speakers and they're trying to listen to your shit through Spotify, through Bluetooth, that's a different story. So for me personally, like, I'm trying to make hits that the whole world can listen to, so I'm not trying to overdrive my shit. If you're just trying to play it in the studio, that's one thing. Go ahead, go crazy with the NLSs. Hit the drive, have it hitting it off the red, everything like that. Like, your shit's gonna be slamming for sure. For presentation purposes, it might work, but I'm trying to get shit to be able to play everywhere. With that being said, there's still ways to do it where you can have, I know Jason Joshua, he's using like that old original NLS bus lineup that I did years ago. Keep in mind, however, when I did that original song, the original song that I did the NLS bus trick on was Trouble featuring Drake. It was a song called, what the fuck was that song called again? Bring It Back. This is the song, R.I.P. to Trouble, by the way. Terrible. But this is a song that I originally did the NLS bus trick on. And if you listen to these drums, um, they're different. So yeah, this song in particular just required like this out of control, clean distortion that is not going to work for every song. So, but I think Jason at this point has fine-tuned it. As far as I know, he uses it on almost every song, on at least some part of his drums. But that's Jason Joshua. He's literally the best in the world. I'm not going to compare myself to Jason Joshua. I don't think most people should. I mean, this guy is mixing hit records every single day. Basically, I'm just saying, be careful with the NLS bus trick. It's an amazing trick. It can do amazing things, but don't look at it as like a cure-all. Like, it's not gonna work every single time. And you gotta trust your ear, Don't say, oh, well, somebody told me if I do this to my drums every single time, it's gonna be amazing. Like, it's not that. I mean, maybe if you really, really know how to use it and you really know how to dial it in, it might be that. But I don't use the full-blown 6 or 8 NLAs in a row that I originally did on every song. No way. Like, sometimes I don't use NLSs at all. So, just wanted to put that out there. Back to the mix here. So I'm going to go with 1 mic and 2 Neves. That seems to be, it's giving it character, but it's not doing too much. And this is where I would normally do my drum parallel as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let me see. I just want to check out what it would sound like with a tad bit of EQing. I think I gotta wait and see until the instruments are mixed in for that. It might work, might be too much. But let me go ahead and check out this drum parallel real quick. As I said, my drums and my instruments and both parallels are going out the beat aux. So, what do we get here? Sends A through E. And bus 27 and 28. And I'm gonna just go ahead, this should already be set up. Yeah, so this is already kind of set up at the settings I need it to be. I'm just gonna slowly feed the drums into my parallel. I think I like it right about there. Like it's making the drum sound fuller without taking away from the low end and the punch. think I'm gonna leave it right about there. So this is without the parallel. And with it. You know, it's a real minute detail, but these minute details are what add up to the mix being incredible. Little tiny step by step, little increments. This is what adds up to being a good mix.